And the one thing I'd mention about that game, though, is that this might be the point that Buffalo has turned the corner and became a good team.
I agree with that. A very good team.
They found a way to win a game that they played terrible in.
Seems to me like the Bills are building up more momentum as Marshawn Lynch continues to run all over the place. And I see the Bills becoming a real threat this season. So
I would say if you could quantify a train wreck, the Oakland Raiders would definitely be the definition. Al Davis he needs to stop. No more football. Retirement home.
When did he really start?
He coached them to a Super Bowl.
In the 70s. Now he eats cottage cheese and he runs a football team. And that's what Al Davis does. He hires junior high coaches and runs the train off a cliff.
In his defense, I would say that I have seen the younger receivers that he's put in the late round on that field, and I think that they're actually going to develop. And that I would throw Lane Kiffin under the bus.
I would throw the whole organization under a bus.
Not Rob Ryan. He's a great defensive
Okay,
coordinator.
Rob Ryan can stay off the bus.
Well, that's enough about Oakland being terrible.
Okay.
Justin?
Nice. Well, last week I personally was thrilled to see New England go down to the Miami Dolphins. I do have bias, and I was actually really impressed with Ronnie Brown, as I'm sure everybody was. 5 touchdowns is just incredible. He did have 113 yards, which isn't huge numbers. It's still great. But the one thing that I think really nobody really caught on to was the fact that Ricky Williams went for 112 yards. I mean, nobody's talking about that. You know, he's the guy that everybody's expecting nothing out of this season, he's a little quiet. He's trying to keep things quiet, but 112 yards out of a second back, that's impressive.
Against the Patriots. And running that weird old T formation, out of shotgun, running, throwing, running.
Darren McFadden got jealous that day watching that.
I believe
I
that.
want to catch the ball at a quarterback too.
Bringing it back to the Raiders, huh?
I had to. It was on my mind.
I've been saying for years, throw it, or you don't really want to throw it against the Patriots. You can run the football on them. Vince Wilfork is a big defensive tackle, but he gets so fast that
he's so big he makes the mic weird out.
Yeah.
It's a giant man.
Size is interrupting our program.
Yeah.
But the Patriots, really did get worked this week. And every fight, mentally, they're just not the same. I don't know if it's just Tom Brady. I think it's a mix of everything. They are not the same football team as they were last year. They used up all their juju.
There seems to be a little bit of holdout. There's not a lot of players that are returning from the Dolphins, but they hate those guys. Those fans hate those guys.
That's a rivalry.
The fans' hatred can fuel that team.
That's for darn sure.
Last time the Patriots blew it was a Monday night, and it was Miami Dolphins.
I was there.
Got it done.
Stupid Dolphins beat.
I was there.
That was the only loss in the '85 year when Chicago won the Super Bowl. We lost to the stupid Dolphins. That's neither here nor there. I will give you that.
Your pick.
New Orleans, Denver Broncos. Scorefest. Denver pulled it out, 34-32. You've got to be impressed with Drew Brees. Drew Brees nonstop throwing. Drew Brees those touchdowns. Jay Cutler proving that a diagnosis in diabetes can change your entire football career. He spent last year fatigued. He wasn't sleeping enough. He wasn't eating enough. Jay Cutler was kind of on the hot seat. There were some people rumoring around that, this is Jay Cutler's year. If you don't prove yourself, got to start looking at other options for Shanahan. But Jay Cutler is unstoppable right now.
I saw it last year at the end of games that they shouldn't have been in. Sometimes they won, sometimes they didn't win, but he was bringing them down the field, getting the field goal. Sometimes the other team would have enough time to beat him, but he was doing his part.
Oh, yeah. Now, while I say that Jay Cutler might have been in the hot seat, he is the one quarterback that I continuously have talked about that I really felt that he had the quintessential NFL quarterback arm. Like, the guy can throw the ball. Coming out of college, he was one of those guys that looked like he could stand on one tiptoe or his knee and still launch the ball 100 yards down the field. I wished a lot of teams had picked him up. I wished I'm a Detroit Lions fan. Why not? Hey, guys, pick him up. The guy can throw a mile. But
when did Denver take him?
Denver, he came out later. When did
I thought they took him in the second. It was during that rash of second-round quarterbacks.
Out of
Kolb from Philadelphia was second. Drew Stanton was a second rounder. That Detroit actually picked up somebody in the second that same year.
There wasn't a wide receiver. Hey.
Hey.
Wasn't a
And
wide
how many
receiver.
quarterbacks come out of
They
Vanderbilt?
did actually
that
take a wide
ended up
receiver
being
that
okay?
year, first round.
Well, I guess we have a telephone call.
Hello, caller.
Yo.
Yo.
Hey, what do you guys think about Chad Johnson changing the name to Ocho Cinco? Just wanted to ask.
Didn't he change it back to actually Chad Johnson?
No,
Like,
the
I think
NFL
that they-
won't let him use that name.
Reebok will not let him use it because they have name rights on the previous jersey. They have to sell off all of the previous jerseys, I think, which comes out to about $4 million. So he can either cough up $4 million, which I'm assuming he has. But I liked it. I thought it was, he wanted to do goofy things, and he found a legit way to do goofy things. Now, it's a little annoying.
Legit.
He legally
Yeah, how
changed his
legit is
name
that?
to Ocho Cinco, which
funny.
doesn't even mean
What do you,
he
what do you
has
think?
a
What do you
name.
think, caller? How do you like it?
He changed his name to 8-5 in Spanish legally.
Why
That's
not?
the most ridiculous thing I've ever
He's
heard
got a sense of
anyone ever
humor.
doing.
Did we lose our friend? Oh, okay.
We lost
Thanks for
him.
the
It would
call.
be nice to have an opinion, but
I like
thank you
it.
very much.
Yeah, it's the NFL. We got to keep changing it up. It's a league. You got to have some fun.
He's the first guy I've seen do something that stupid to buck the system, and I have to admire that.
How about that blonde mohawk? I mean, that's just as crazy as changing your name to Ocho Cinco, or that sweet grill he's got. I like the guy.
Yeah, he's fun. He is a fun guy.
Yeah, he's a fun
I
guy.
guess he keeps it entertaining, but you know what? So do Super Bowl halftime shows. I'm of the opinion that we don't need the stupidness. We don't need
more shenanigans,
we
man.
need Steelers defense
no.
and big Cowboys touchdowns. That's the
Big
football that I
Cowboys, they're
like.
bigger than other touchdowns because they're in Texas.
They're in Texas. Everything's big down there, so the touchdowns are twice the size.
We need Larry Zonka.
That's right. That's right. Immaculate receptions
Anyway,
and
thanks
things
for
of
the
that
thanks
sort.
for the call,
Sir,
sir.
that was fantastic.
That was a good call.
As off track as we are, I'm going to make my pick of the week last week, which was the Cincinnati Giants game. Cincinnati, speaking of Chad Johnson, finally showed up last week, but the Giants are pretty good. They beat them anyway. And they've proven that they really are a good team in a situation like that where Cincinnati's got their backs against the wall. They're going to do everything they can to not go down 0-3. Giants come in there and get it done.
I'm in a totally different opinion than you. I think that, the Giants are the big boys. They're the Super Bowl returning champions or the returning Super Bowl champions. It's semantics. But either way, they're the big team, and Cincinnati hasn't done anything in quite some time. Their backs have been against the wall for, 3 years now since the Carson Palmer injury in the Steelers game? I think that that's a huge disappointment to the Giants. That's not a big win. They won by 2 points.
But
I was impressed with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They were throwing the ball well. They were running the ball well. Their defense was actually holding. Brandon Jacobs wasn't mowing down every single linebacker in his path. He mowed down a few. They hurt, but at the same time, you have Carson Palmer resembles Rocky Balboa, bleeding out of the face and still throwing touchdowns. I thought it was impressive. They were held together a little bit.
But going
Why
back
not?
to the point against the Raiders, Buffalo, good teams
Yeah,
find a way to win when they play poorly, and
Trust
the
me,
Giants did do that.
I felt that this week.
I wouldn't call the Bengals a good team.
No, I said that the Giants are a good team.
Oh, they did find a way
The
to win,
Giants are
you're
a good
right.
team.
So
But
they
without,
played poorly.
without Ocho Cinco,
was a great
who
comeback,
cares
wasn't it?
about the
It
Bengals
was.
as far as a football organization? It's all crime, bad losing records. They're just not an exciting team without something like Chad Johnson. I mean, every week it's like, God, who gets to do the Bengals game?
They're bored. It's
You know?
Cincinnati. I mean,
They're
you make $1 million,
boring.
you got to steal a car once in a while.
Wow.
You have to result in crime when you can't win football games.
Yeah.
As much as Marvin Lewis really tries with those guys, I would quit. I would
I like
quit
Marvin
if I
Lewis.
was.
Do you think there's better opportunities for Marvin Lewis?
Sitting on my couch would be a better opportunity than coaching that team.
I think Marvin Lewis has business interest. Maybe he has them robbing the cars for him. Maybe he's taking bets on which player gets a DUI next. He's got some income coming in off this.
I would, that's not bad because he
Yeah.
is very nice. He's always
He's a nice
cordial.
guy.
He's polite.
It's a good
You would
front.
never expect
You could
him
run a crime
to
because
be a
he's
criminal.
making
behind that.
ducats.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy when they have money.
With
Okay.
extra money.
If you bet on Chima Rest for the Bengals, you'd have lots of money.
And he's gambling against them.
Right.
He's betting on the
Okay,
Giants.
we've talked too much about the Bengals this evening.
So
We have talked too much about the Bengals.
Let's go back to the Raiders.
no.
No, we're not going back
I'm-
to the Raiders
no.
either. In
No.
fact, if we could not talk about the Raiders at all for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
we'd be
no
doing
more
our
Raiders,
listeners
no more
fans.
Bengals. Now there's 30 teams we should discuss.
There is. And there's 4 games that are coming up this week that we should discuss.
Let's go.
I'm down.
Again, lead us off, Trade.
Okay, I'm going to be biting my nails, pulling out my hair, punching myself in the face thoroughly.
Punching.
Sunday night when the Philadelphia Eagles come into Chicago to face the so good but so spitty.
Spitty?
Yeah, I just spit it. Come on, accident.
It's a classy show if you didn't know.
Yeah.
The 1 and 2 Bears are better than this. The Eagles are a good football team. I just expect smash mouth. I expect them going at each other. The Bears have got to learn how to finish a game. We've been up more than 10 after halftime. The last 2 games, found a way to lose. Brian Westbrook is hurt, but I don't think he's that hurt. I think he's going to play. Donovan Schnabbins
An injury.
is got a chest contusion, but all things said, I think the Bears defense is really going to put some pressure on him. I love Matt Forte. I love what he's doing this season. I think the Bears are going to open it up a little more this weekend, and I'm going with my best Kyle Orton impersonation. Let's go Bears. Let's let the neckbeards grow, and
Is that a kid's helmet?
maybe. Let's not lose to the Eagles this week, okay, Bears? Okay, Bears fans? Let's not lose to the Eagles this weekend. We're at home. We're growing. We're going to win this one.
It's got to be hard to look serious in that helmet.
Yeah, I just can't take it
I'm
seriously.
not serious.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
You look like you should be riding a 3-wheeler.
Yeah, and from in here, it's kind of a nice, comforting, embryonic
warm
type
inside.
feel.
You feel
Embryonic
warm.
You know? I can't
Snug.
get to my thumb. Anyway, go
Nice.
Bears. I think we really got a good chance this weekend against the Eagles, but it should be a very good game. Everybody should tune into that.
As you're saying, though, not finishing games, their offense needs to learn how to finish the game.
Oh,
their
it's so true.
defense finished the game
Right.
against the Colts.
And we were dropping passes. I don't know. It's frustrating. It hits me right in my big old heart. Hi, Marley. Hits me right in my big old heart. It really hurts when they lose.
And how do you
like
drop
that.
a Kyle Orton pass? It's like a wet noodle on a blanket coming at you, nice, all cozy.
Yeah,
Drop it.
it's one of these. Oh.
Those are awesome skills.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the Bears game. Go Bears.
Well, I'll go next. I'm with you, dude. I think the Bears are going to pull an upset this week. But the other thing that I think is going to happen is, do we have another caller?
Do we really have a caller?
Oh, we do have a caller. I'm sorry, caller.
I call it.
Caller.
Caller? You're on, caller.
Hello?
Yes, it's a football show.
Hey,
Welcome.
fellas.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, I just wanted to say, go Bears.
the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears stink. No,
Nice.
they're great.
Next weekend, we're going to see
Thank
that
you.
guy in a coconut bikini and a grass skirt doing the dance.
And that's this guy.
Please do that.
You got it.
dangerous.
Anything for this show.
Anyways, okay, my pick, if I may, I'm going to say Green Bay at Tampa. I think that's going to be a pretty exciting game. Aaron Rodgers is looking phenomenal. He still has yet to throw a single pick this season, which is pretty rare.
Hasn't even turned it over, has he?
No, for a
That is
Green Bay
fantastic.
offense, it's impressive.
That is impressive.
The other thing is that they need to get back on track with a big win. The loss to Dallas. Sure, Dallas looks phenomenal, but Green Bay wants to be a contender this year. I think that they're going to play their hearts out, and I think it's going to be a big Green Bay win. I'm predicting 21-10 over Tampa Bay.
21-10 over. Even if Brian Greasy throws it 67 more times or whatever he threw last week.
Hey, he can throw it as much as he wants. Chuck Woodson's out there. He throws it 67 times. It's going to be 67 Chuck Woodson picks.
For touchdowns.
For touchdowns,
And
probably.
we need to
Which
get
means
somebody
my
with a
score is
calculator
terrible.
Doing the math on that.
Greasy's arm. I mean, the guy.
67 times 7.
The guy's
That's-
arms got to hurt after last week. He can't do that again.
No.
No
you
way.
can't.
Not
you
physically.
shouldn't ever throw the ball that much and win.
No.
Normal person shouldn't throw it 5 times. I mean, it hurts after once for
Actually,
me.
when we were in the
Greasy
parking
shouldn't
lot and I
throw
threw
the
that
ball.
football.
Yeah, he's
I threw that football right there at Drayton and it actually hurt.
nice.
Yeah?
You're old, though.
I am old.
You're old.
Not as old as Greasy.
Not as old. I know, I'm like probably two. I
I'm
don't know, how
Greasy's
old is
age,
Greasy?
actually.
I believe
Greasy-
he's
Oh,
36.
He's 36? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
younger
was
than
old.
Greasy.
All right, sweet.
But
Greasy has dinosaur fossils in his sofa. You guys.
Okay.
But
You
Tampa
wanna-
Bay, Tampa
you
Bay's
wanna run
getting
with that,
better.
or-
Tampa Bay's
No, I'm
getting
not
better
gonna run
all
with
the
it. I'm just
time.
going to call a bad line for what it is.
Green
Okay.
Bay
That's
is, they're going to stay in contention. But I really thought that they lost big to Dallas. I thought that in the NFC, the Green Bay and Dallas were the two big up-and-up teams. Dallas really is that good. They beat them thoroughly.
Well, Mac, I'm just going to kick it over
You're just
to
gonna
you.
kick it over.
Just going
All
to
right.
kick it over.
Well, speaking of knocking the dust off, I'm going to call the game this week Vikings versus Titans. The combined age of the two quarterbacks in this game almost amounts to 80 years.
Wow.
Huh.
37 and 38 years old. These are two backup quarterbacks that have come in and actually rallied their teams, although I still think one of them is going to go down from osteoporosis before the season's over.
I would say Gus Farad is going to be that man.
Gus Farad
Guess
will be
for
that
our
man.
The thing, though, is that Kerry Collins has been a backup for a short period of time versus Gus Farad is a career backup.
Kerry Collins.
Hello?
still Giants.
Hello, caller. Surprise.
Hello?
Hello.
Here, it's a
caller.
football show.
Do you think the Jets have a chance at the playoffs this year?
No.
I'm afraid not.
None.
No chance. No, I'm sorry.
Just because I'm going with yes. Brett Favre, I mean, in that division, look at the Patriots. They're hurting. The Bills can't keep this up. I'm sorry, but they can't. And the Dolphins are still the Dolphins. So maybe in that division, a wild card, or they could maybe pull something out.
I think the Bills win that division, and they might do it at 9-7, and they're not getting a wild card over there. That division will not take a wild card.
I
There's
think
going to be a wild card out of the North or the South.
That might be true.
Favre might give them the momentum until, say, week 8. But the mystique of Favre can only carry you so far. I think after midseason, getting punched in the mouth continuously, they're going to slow down a little bit, probably lose the playoff race.
I haven't slowed down. I mean, I've been being punched in the mouth for quite a few years.
You get punched in the mouth on a regular basis?
Quite often.
That's why you're still a good-looking gentleman.
That's right. My nose is crooked.
The thing is, though, is that he's still going to perform like Favre.
He will perform like Favre. The
Favre,
rest of
he's
the
gonna,
team will perform like the Jets.
250 to 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2-ish, maybe 3 interceptions.
Throw
every
the ball
game.
behind his back.
He's a great fantasy quarterback because he's going to score 20 because he's going to just throw it around. And on the note of throwing it around, I'm going to throw around my pick.
Okay.
Bring it.
I'm looking at the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. This is going to be a dogfight. They're going to play defense. They both have problems with who they have playing on offense. No Willie Parker. Rashard Mendenhall has not shown anything.
No.
He showed so little that I dumped him off one of my fantasy football teams, and now he's starting, so I'm hoping really that he's not going to do anything. Joe Flacco starting for the Ravens.
Not playing
They're
horrible, though.
going to get blitzed 50 times. 50 times they're going to just throw it the sink at him. And he's a rookie. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to go down. He'll probably fumble. But I think that's going to be the key to the game is that eventually the defense of the Steelers will wear down Baltimore. And then we're going to be tied with the half-game lead to the Steelers in that division.
You know, I remember watching a game a few years ago that Baltimore actually tied the most penalties in a game, and that's what I still remember Baltimore by ever since that game, is that they are an aggressive team, but I don't necessarily consider them to be a smart team. I think playing a team like the Steelers, you know, you have to play smash mouth, but at the same time, I don't think that Baltimore has really shown the ability to play smart. They play tough, but I think we're going to see a lot of things out of Baltimore that aren't going to look good this weekend against the Steelers.
I think it's like a bizarro world Steelers from a couple of years ago. I mean, Joe Flacco's a big guy. It's all about the defense and just playing it straight. And a lot of similarities here with the Ravens and the Steelers of, say, 3 or 4 years ago. I think Joe Flacco's coming along. I think the score is going to end up being 3-2 Steelers.
Yeah, that's where I'm going, is that right now you still got Samari Roll, you still got Chris McAllister healthy. It's really hard to score on that defense when both of those guys are on the field. Even with what is, you know, off and on a high-power offense that Pittsburgh has, and it is an off and on high-power offense. They're going to score 50 or they're going to score 8.
Right. Last year they set the record for the lowest score in any game last year with the score 3-0. I mean, a lowest of all time. So they're very off and on.
Absolutely. At this point, I'd like to begin our fantasy picks.
Excellent.
Go ahead, Drayden.
I'd like to go with the Bears D, but that would break too much of my inside. So I'm going to go with the Titans defense this week against the Vikings. Albert Haynesworth's a stud.
Oh, caller, excellent caller. Welcome.
Titans D.
It's a football show.
You know, and I was wondering, does anybody really miss Tom Brady?
Tom Brady. Who?
My dad does.
Who?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, my dad does.
His dad
He's a
does.
big
Yeah,
Patriots
big.
fan. He's missing Tom Brady a lot, and the Patriots organization does. But besides that, I think we discussed it before the show. I think we're all happy to have a little less Tom Brady in our lives this season.
There's been so much hype about Tom Brady. And, you know, I am not exactly the biggest Patriots fan in the world. I hate the Patriots, okay? I hate them with every fiber of my being. But I read an article last week about...
That's too short for hate, by the way.
Thank you, friend.
Hate's a bad
You're a
word.
good man. Anyways, last week I read an article about what Tom Brady did during the loss. While the loss was taking place during Miami, he took his son to, what was it, a movie while it was going on. He wasn't even there watching the game.
That's
He
a
wasn't at
rumor.
home watching.
Rumor.
It was substantiated by a reliable source.
I would have eaten a chili dog.
Yeah. Anyways, Tom
Mike
Brady.
Walker,
I just
national
don't
player.
I think he plays for Tom Brady, not the
Walk in
New
the
England
park.
Patriots. Anyways.
Yeah, he does. And I'm not happy that he had that kind of an injury. I was hoping that it was going to be week 3 and the Dolphins were going to like break 2 of his ribs or something, and then a few weeks later he could come back and get hit some more.
I disagree. He's an ultimate team player. The guy's fantastic. Going to go down as one of the greatest football players ever. I got mad respect for the guy, but, you know, let's get some new blood. See what happens when there's not a man out there throwing for 50 touchdowns.
Mad respect. I will
Mad.
punch you in the face.
You will miss.
He's very
You will
wily,
miss.
slippery one, that trading.
Anyway, your pick was the Tennessee.
Yeah, the Tennessee D. Thanks for the call, caller.
Yes. Thank you, caller.
Thank you very much. And what about your Sidham pick? I mean, who
Yeah,
do you think's
which
gonna not do
defense
good?
is a normal starter that we're gonna lose?
Oh, God.
Got to bench somebody.
I'm going to absolutely, positively bench the Saints defense.
The Saints defense. All right, you sound confident.
They have a good
about
matchup this week. If you were gonna do it, I mean,
that. Who are the Saints playing?
I don't remember.
But it's a great match.
Yeah, I'd
Trust
bench him.
us.
All right, Justin.
I've got a couple picks here. If we have time, do we have time?
We've got time.
Okay, we've got time. My starting pick actually is a little bit on shaky ground. Hear me out, and then let me justify it.
The starting
I'm
pick is his
starting.
nose.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm starting Derek Anderson. He hasn't looked good all season. We all know how much we wanted to see out of Derek Anderson, but here's why. He's fighting for his job. Brady Quinn's coming in. Everybody wants to see him. Derek Anderson has one more chance to play. And mind you, last year was his breakout game against Cincinnati in week 2. This is week 3. He threw for 328 yards and 5 touchdowns last time he met Cincinnati.
I will say,
And he was on everyone's fantasy football bench at that point, and you could help a few people out. You could help him right now. Get him back up there.
By
5
saying-
touchdowns.
5 touchdowns.
Pick him up.
5 touchdowns.
I'm going to firmly disagree. I think Derek Anderson is going to be one of the big flops of the year. The last 6 games of the year last year, he didn't do a whole lot. He started out hot, kind of floundered in the end of the season. Now this year, to start out preseason, hasn't looked all that hot. Yeah.
Good argument. I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a
You like
nice
that one?
offense to my defense.
Is it a nice offense?
No, it's
Okay,
terrible.
okay.
In your retort, Derek Anderson
Bless
has not looked exactly wonderful, but mind you, one of the things that I've noticed is Braylon Edwards is dropping passes like nobody's business.
Jalen Edwards dropped passes last year.
Yeah.
He led the league in drop passes.
That's right. Derek Anderson is getting
And
it
he
to
led
him.
my team to a fantasy football championship.
Nice.
Terrell Owens drops passes. It just happens.
All right. Braylon Edwards apparently drops passes too. Moving on, my sit-em pick actually is a mighty one. It's Ben Roethlisberger. He is injured. He's got a sore hand and a hurt shoulder, which I don't know what means. I don't know if they're busted up or if he just doesn't feel like playing football this week. But last week he got sacked 8 times. I expect to see Baltimore do it again. They're going to bring it. They're not going to bring it well. They're probably going to drop the ball, get some false starts and lots of penalties. But they are going to probably hurt Ben Roethlisberger this week.
As we're closing in on program time, go ahead and give us your fantasy picks. Up, one down.
One up. Jets receiver, your favorite,
I believe we have a caller. Hold
Another
on.
caller.
Oh, geez.
Caller?
Are
Caller.
all the callers coming from that booth?
Are they all back there?
Caller, you're on.
Yeah, caller.
Hello.
It's a football show.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
I
can.
hear you.
I'd like to ask a question to the guy in the blue shirt.
Bring it.
Justin.
Yes,
I was
Justin.
talking with some of my friends, and we all feel that the BSU Broncos could probably take the Detroit Lions this year. What do you think?
Hey.
Oi, oi,
Yes.
oi, oi.
Go Broncos.
I am in awe. I'm proud to be a Bronco myself, and I have no qualms with that. The Detroit Lions are an embarrassing team, and it breaks my heart every day. But hey, you got to stay loyal, man. There's bandwagon fans, and go Detroit, but go Broncos every
Go
time.
Broncos.
Go Broncos every time.
Thank
Thanks,
you, caller.
caller.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
I almost thought that he was going to verbally assault me, but
It was close.
I'm happy.
It was close.
As we're running out, who's your down?
Down. Hines Ward. Baltimore defense.
Yeah, Chris
Tough.
McAllister. We just mentioned it. Samari Roll. What do you do?
Down.
Okay.
Sam?
My up, my down. Selvin Young hasn't done anything. Everybody's starting him. Down. Up. Very same team. Michael Pittman. 4 touchdowns already.
Short
Pittman's
yardage
gonna have a
man.
good game. I agree. Double stamp.
Double stamp. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Let's go Bears.
Let's go Bears.
I think it's going to be another interesting week. There's not very many 3-0s. There's quite a few 1-2s and quite a few 0-3s. This has been a really interesting season so far. I mean, nobody knows what the heck's going on week to week. I thought the picks were nearly impossible. I think I lost more games than I won, and I like to think I know what the heck I'm doing.
My one final thought. Guy who's not receiving any accolades, Cortland Finnegan. 4 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 3 games.
I just like to say his name.
What was
Cortland
it I read this week?
Finnegan.
When are we going to figure out who Cortland Finnegan is?
Yeah,
It's the guy who runs them.
Finnegan.
He catches the ball.
And hi, Marlon.
And that is
Is that a
all
wrap?
we have the time for.
Thank
Thanks,
you, callers.
everybody.
Thank you,
for
callers.
having us.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for tuning
Have a
in.
great weekend.
Totally sunk my battleship on the Derrick Anderson thing.
I know.
Hi, Marlon.
I'm a bad man.
Hi, everybody.
That's sweet. Sweet Jared.